Sometimes, all it takes is one kind soul to change a life forever. These animals were moments away from tragedy until someone stepped in and gave them a second chance. In today's video, we're showing you 15 real animal rescues caught on camera that will warm your heart and leave you speechless. Stay till the end, because number 1 will absolutely break you. This is Vexon Creed, and you're watching Beyond the Senses, where reality fades and truth begins. Trapped rhino gets saved in a brave rescue. This was not your average animal rescue. Imagine showing up to save a massive black rhino stuck deep in the mud. Not exactly the friendliest animal to be around. Rhinos aren't known for showing gratitude even when they're in trouble, but that didn't stop a team of brave rescuers. It all started when a rhino wandered into some surface water and got completely trapped in thick, heavy mud. Lucky for him, a local nature reserve worker spotted the scene and immediately called in experts. Now here's where it gets even more surprising. Instead of panicking or charging at the humans, the rhino calmly waited while the rescue team worked fast with a digger, slowly clearing the mud around him. And once the path was open, the rhino didn't lash out. He just glanced at the humans and walked off into the wild like nothing happened. No thank you, no charge, just that typical rhino attitude. But hey, in rhino language, not attacking you might be the highest form of respect. Trapped elephants fight for life. This story starts deep in the wild jungles of Sri Lanka, where one of the most gentle giants on Earth got stuck in a deadly trap. A huge elephant was found with a wire tightly wrapped around its leg, cutting deep into its skin. Local villagers quickly alerted the wildlife rescue team, who rushed in to help. They found the elephant in pain, but still standing strong. The vets carefully gave it anesthesia to calm it down, hoping they could free it in time and save its life. But the moment they looked closely, their hearts sank. The injury was far worse than they expected, and the place was too narrow to perform the full surgery the elephant needed. Even though the team managed to cut the wire, it was too late. The damage had already been done. This gentle giant couldn't survive the trap. It's a heartbreaking ending, but what stands out is the team's effort. They didn't give up. They tried everything to bring the elephant back, showing real courage and compassion till the very end. Lion cub's most embarrassing moment. This one starts off wild, literally. A group of tourists in South Africa's Kruger National Park witnessed a scene they'll never forget. A young lion cub somehow got its head stuck in the back end of a dead buffalo. Yes, that actually happened. Nobody knows exactly what the cub was trying to do, maybe looking for food or just being curious, but one wrong move and boom, it ended up with its whole head deep inside a place no animal ever wants to be. The older lions were just as confused as the tourists. They had no idea how to help the poor cub, and the people filming, they just watched and moved on like nothing happened. But here's the twist. When they returned the next day, the cub was free, but the way it got out was pretty nasty. We won't get into the gross details, but the good news is the cub was alive, slightly traumatized, and definitely in need of a long bath. Giraffe trapped in a tire. At first, it looked like the giraffe was just showing off a weird fashion style. A big tire hung around her neck like a necklace, and people in Kenya's Holler Park couldn't stop staring. But this wasn't a fashion statement. The tire had been stuck there since around 2020, and no one knew how it ended up on her. What they did know was that it had been there long enough to injure her neck, and that was a serious problem. Rescuing her wasn't easy. Giraffes are tricky to handle because putting them to sleep with anesthesia is dangerous. But the experts didn't give up. They finally got her down safely, removed the tire, cleaned the wound, and treated it with natural medicine. The best part? She stood back up and walked away, free and light again. Whether it was an accident or not, that tire is gone now, and she's back to being the queen of the wild, no accessories needed. The crying deer and the backyard hero. A strange sound broke the silence of a quiet backyard. A soft, desperate cry. A deer had somehow gotten its legs trapped in a wooden fence and didn't know how to get free. The poor animal stood there, crying like a scared child, as if begging someone to come help. Then, The backyard owner stepped out and saw this heartbreaking scene. Instead of panicking, he spoke gently to calm the deer, trying to figure out what to do next. The man wasn't a wildlife expert, just a kind human who couldn't stand to see an animal suffer. After carefully looking at the problem, he made a bold decision. He broke his own fence just to set the deer free. Yes, he damaged his property, but he saved a life. The deer ran off safely, and the man stood there, smiling. Maybe he never actually watched Bambi, but his actions showed something even better: real compassion. In a world that often forgets kindness, this simple act reminded us all what it means to care. Koala rescue with a pair of scissors. A small, helpless koala was stuck in a net in Byron Bay, and things could have ended badly until a kind woman saw him. She didn't panic. She grabbed a pair of scissors and calmly walked toward the trapped animal. The koala, sitting completely still, didn't even try to run. He quietly waited while she gently cut the net around him. It was like he knew she was there to help, not hurt. That moment felt more like a silent bond between the two. But the hardest part came when she tried to free his little foot. That's when the koala got scared. Just as she reached in again with the scissors, he suddenly wiggled free and made a run for the forest, safe at last. Watching this woman stop everything just to help a wild animal shows real heart. She didn't ask for anything. She just saw a creature in trouble and acted. Honestly, stories like this make us believe in kindness again. And yes, maybe one day we'll all use our scissors for something more than just opening snack packs. Goat stuck on cliff for 10 days while pregnant. It's not every day you hear about a pregnant goat stuck on the edge of a cliff, right? But that's exactly what happened. No one knows how she got there, but somehow this brave goat was stranded for 10 long days with no food or water at all. What's even crazier, she was heavily pregnant the whole time. People finally spotted her and called for help, and thankfully, animal rescue rushed in to save her. Now here's where it gets even more shocking. While trying to rescue her, the goat actually slipped and hit the cliff on the way down, but somehow she and her baby were totally fine, not a single scratch. It's still a mystery how they both survived that, but one thing's for sure, it ended with a happy twist. Whether this was just another day for the rescue team or the wildest job they've seen, one thing's clear: I'm never going near a cliff edge again. Brave Mama Duck saves her babies. This Mama Duck was in full panic mode. Her 10 tiny ducklings had somehow ended up in a deep backyard pool and they couldn't get out. Like any caring mother, she didn't waste a second. She jumped straight in and swam to them. She tried leading them to the shallow corner where they might escape, but the poor babies couldn't jump high enough. Even when she guided them to a lower step, it still wasn't low enough for their little legs. Then, the pool owner showed up with a skimmer net, hoping to scoop them out to safety, but Mama Duck wasn't sure she could trust him. She kept swimming nervously, watching his every move. He gently lifted the ducklings out one by one, but they just kept jumping back in. It took some creative thinking, but finally the Mama Duck found some lava rocks by the steps. One by one, the ducklings used them to climb out, and just like that, the whole family was safe again. Quacktastic ending, right? Cow stuck in a tree, these cyclists became heroes. It was just another peaceful day for a group of Brazilian cyclists enjoying the fresh air and open road. But their ride took a wild turn when they saw something completely unexpected: a cow with her head stuck between the branches of a tree. At first, it looked like some strange illusion, but no, it was real. The poor animal was completely trapped. Without wasting time, the cyclists got off their bikes and rushed over to help her. They spoke gently to calm her down and tried to pull her head free, but something felt off. The way her body was positioned made things even more difficult. Instead of giving up, the group came up with a smarter plan. They shifted the cow's body slightly and then returned to working on her head. After a few careful tugs and teamwork, they finally freed her. It was a simple act of kindness, but it made a big difference. If these cyclists hadn't passed by at that exact moment, the cow might not have survived. And hey, maybe saving a cow is a nice way of saying thank you for all the milk over the years. Sometimes a bike ride really can save a life. Sea turtle rescue on vacation. A relaxing vacation suddenly turned into a life-saving mission. Marine biologist Charlotte was walking with her boyfriend along the shore when she saw something heartbreaking: a massive green sea turtle trapped between sharp rocks. Most people would have just walked by, but not Charlotte. With her training and love for ocean life, she couldn't ignore the turtle's struggle. The poor creature was stuck and couldn't move. Without wasting time, Charlotte and her boyfriend rushed to help, but this turtle was no lightweight. It was huge and not moving an inch. Just when things felt impossible, they spotted a piece of driftwood nearby. Using it like a lever, they pushed, pulled, and worked together with all their strength. And finally, it worked! The sea turtle slid out and rushed back into the ocean waves like it knew exactly where to go. Charlotte felt pure joy seeing it swim away safe and free. It was a reminder that nature is full of surprises, and sometimes being in the right place at the right time can change a life, even for a sea turtle. The donkey trapped underground. It all started with a rescue call, so strange even the animal experts thought someone was joking. A donkey had somehow fallen into a watery underground cavern beneath a house. Yes, under a house. No one could understand how it happened, but when the rescue team arrived, they saw it with their own eyes. The poor donkey was stuck, cold, and scared, with no way to climb back up. They tried to pull him out the same way he fell, but the hole was too small. So the team came up with a new plan. They used a jackhammer to break the ground and make the hole bigger. Then they gently tied ropes around the donkey, lowered a ladder, and pulled him up to safety. As they headed back to the animal shelter, the donkey did something that melted everyone's heart. He started rolling on the ground and cuddling the people who saved him. It was like he knew they saved his life. Honestly, someone needs to put this donkey in the next Shrek movie. He's already a star in our hearts. Trapped tiger gets a second chance. It all started when a tiger accidentally wandered nearly 1 mile out of Nagara Hole National Park and ended up in a coffee plantation. But this wasn't just any normal situation. The tiger had gotten its paw stuck in a barbed wire fence. Now picture this: a wild tiger in pain trapped on private land. The coffee planter who owned the land saw the tiger, but knew one wrong move could cost him his life. So instead of risking it all, he made the smartest choice. He called in the experts. When the rescue team arrived, they used a tranquilizer to gently put the tiger to sleep. Once it was safe, they carefully removed her injured paw from the fence and rushed her to a nearby zoo for treatment. There, vets would check if she could be released back into the wild or needed a forever home in the zoo. This tiger was lucky. She crossed paths with a kind and thoughtful human. Sadly, not all tigers are this fortunate. Some are killed the moment they're seen, but this one, she got another shot at life. Stranded dolphin rescue gone wrong. It started like a peaceful family day on the water. Joseph Ferranda was kayaking with his wife and daughter near Cape Coral when something caught their eye on a sandbar. As they paddled closer, they saw a dolphin stuck on the sand, looking helpless and tired. Without wasting time, Joseph wrapped a towel around its tail and gently pulled it back into the water. The dolphin swam away, and the family felt proud, thinking they just saved a life. But here's the twist most people don't know. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, if you ever see a stranded sea animal, don't touch it. Experts say that these animals might be sick or injured, and only trained marine teams should handle them. So while Joseph's heart was in the right place, officials say the best thing to do is call 1-877-WHALE-HELP and leave it to the pros. Hawk stuck in car grill. It started like a normal road trip with the family, just laughter, music, and good vibes. But then, suddenly out of nowhere, a hawk slammed straight into the front grille of the car. The driver hit the brakes and pulled over fast. Turns out the bird didn't just bounce off, it got stuck right there, alive and blinking. Without wasting a second, the driver and his passenger carefully checked the damage and saw the poor hawk wedged between the bars, looking totally shocked. They stayed calm, gently worked together, and after a few careful tugs, they finally freed the dazed bird. Now here comes the wild part. The driver tried to encourage the hawk to fly away. At first, it just stood there, clearly confused. I mean, it literally headbutted a moving car. But after a moment of standing in place, probably thinking about its life choices, The hawk finally opened its wings. Everyone expected it to fly to safety, but guess what? It went right back toward the road. Maybe it has a thing for danger, or maybe it just doesn't learn. Either way, that bird gave everyone a memory they'll never forget. The baby seals who didn't want to leave. Some rescues feel like a scene from a movie. Two ocean conservationists in Namibia were out on their usual routine when they spotted something heartbreaking. Two baby seals in visible pain. These little ones weren't hurt by predators or the sea, but by something far more common, human trash. One seal pup had a tight nylon rope cutting into its neck. It hadn't broken the skin yet, but the pain was real. The team carefully captured both pups, checked them, and gently removed the plastic before setting them free again. But here's the part that'll melt your heart. One of the baby seals didn't want to leave. Instead of swimming off, he just wanted to stay close to his rescuers, almost like he knew they had saved him. This rescue was easier than most, but just as meaningful. They came to save lives and left with an unexpected bond. These rescues remind us that even the smallest act of kindness can save a life. If this touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because every life matters.